What's poppin'? Welcome back to my channel. I'll be doing a review of Toya and Reginae, The Ambush. Toya and Red is spending quality time together. They is taking a break from the family drama. So what they gonna do? They trying something new. Okay, they is doing pickleball. I'm like, what? Pickleball? What is that? First of all, I don't know what it is. At the end of the day, I think I heard it through the grapevine, through the internet about this pickleball. But at the end of the day, I'm glad Toya is stepping out of her comfort zone because her husband is into sports. That's what he does. And I'm glad she is compromising with her husband to do something that he like. The people teach them how to practice pickleball. And to me, pickleball seemed like a bootleg tennis. Okay, so Toya is on the other team and Red is on the Giovanni team, and I love that name. I have always loved that name since I was a kid. Giovanna or Giovanni. I think that name is so freaking beautiful. So you already know Toya did not win, so they took a break so they could catch up. And so Toya brings up, she want to bring back Pretty Girls Jump, which is her event for people around her age jumping rope. Let me tell you something. I was always into sports. I always jumped rope, but I was never good at any of the sports. Okay, so I like a lot of people today is not doing this. That was a thing back then. Playing double dutch, jumping rope. That was a thing on the block. All right. So after she talks about bringing that back, she talks about her brother Walter wants to do a podcast, and he tells her that that is for her too much to take on, and he would take Walter to his friend podcast. To me, Red is a very supportive husband. That's just my opinion. Red didn't piss me off. Child, he pissed me off so bad I turned the TV off. I literally turned the TV off. Here he coming talking about some damn baby. Child, I like you already got a child. What you want, another baby? I think he want a boy with Toya. I would have walked off on him. I would have walked away from Red. I like, sir, you already have kids and you already have a boy. You don't need no more. I would have told Red no about the baby. That's just my opinion. I would have said no, there's not gonna be another baby. And first of all, Toya is having health issues for her fibroids, which it came back, and she gonna have surgery for that, and she's planning to make an appointment for that. So, and I think Red is crazy to want her another baby, because first of all, men that want another baby, they could freely get up and go. A woman is stuck in a house all the time with the baby, dealing with the crying, and their body, mental state, the physical body being transformed, and then you have to get that back together again. If God bless you with one, he will bless you with one. That's just my opinion. I was so excited for Reginae because she arrived to her fitting for her movie. And you know what? Brad James came to visit Reginae to see how she's feeling and to check on her to see where her mental state is at, and just ready to welcome her. And Reginae is excited to work with him because he is married to Keisha Knight Pullum, who played Rudy from The Cosby. And let me tell you, my girl is still a bad actress, because let me tell you, she played in the Lifetime movie The Hillside Adoption Skin, and that movie was really good. Girl, you did your thing in that movie. And Keisha is coming back with another movie on Lifetime called The Wife Stalker, playing the married couple from the Empire. All right, don't forget to check that out on Lifetime now, because I know I will be watching it. Okay. And at the end of the day, I'm really glad Keisha found true love, and I think James is a good actor and a good husband and a good man. And I'm glad Keisha found true love, somebody she could spend the rest of her life that she could trust, and who would be a good father to her children. I know this, right? So when James leaves, Reginae's grandma comes in to be very supportive of her. And I said, Ms.Anita is a very supportive grandmother to her granddaughter. I thought that was nice, because I said when Reginae had her fitting, I said Ms.Anita was being the best hype man I ever seen. I said, you better support your granddaughter, Ms.Anita. I know this, right? Reginae is talking to her grandmother, and she wants to hook her grandmother on a dating app called this app Black. I think that's what it's called, which is a dating app. And Ms.Anita was like frowning at first, and she's like, she's cool with the idea. Ms.Anita was frowning when she said that, but she came around to the idea, and Ms.Anita's like, she wanna be in her soft girl era, honey. She wants somebody to take care of her, honey. Yes. She said, I am a lady, honey. Take care of me, baby. Reginae asked her, what kind of men are you into? Ms.Anita said, I'm not an ugly lady. Don't be pairing me up with an ugly man, honey. She said, I ain't picky, but I am a nice looking woman. Put me with a nice looking man. I like, you better know your worth, Ms.Anita. You better know your worth. I know that's right. Beedy shows up to her DJ class so she could get some lessons on how to become a better DJ, and I'm with it. I'm with it that she wants to improve her skills so she could get better clientele and get better gigs. I said DJing is a job, and you could make up to $10,000. Girl, get to the bag and get your money. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? A woman that works, what? Would never go hungry. Okay? The person that's supposed to be teaching her is DJ Master Toby. And I like, is he African? Because he look African to me, honey. I said, he African. I said, they didn't even start yet when he was teaching her. And here comes her sister popping up on her, has to have a conversation during her DJing class. And her sister tells her she want to invite her to the pretty girl jumping thing, and she gonna have surgery, and when they gonna have the discussion with Mel, but she don't know because she not ready, and being like, I don't know, I can't jump because of my leg is still not healed, so she's not gonna participate in jumping, but she's thinking about showing up. You know what I'm saying? Toya talks about doing something for her mom for Mother's Day, and then she want to give her mother her flowers. I thought that was cute and that was nice. And it was a daughter days brunch. I said they don't have brunch for mothers who have all kids, mothers, daughters, and sons, so all the children could go and support their mom. Anita don't just have daughters, she have sons too. Why the sons can't come, honey, and participate? Oh, because it's only a daughter's brunch. Beedy is very big on wanting Mel to talk to Toya. I don't know what is the urge of Beedy wanting her to talk to Mel. I don't get it. Y'all not getting married. Y'all not having kids together. So what is the urge of y'all talking stuff out? I just didn't get. I don't get it. Which I really like this scene because I love family spending quality time together. I love that so much. Toya took her daughters to this nice sweet shop where they got waffles in a cup and they put all kind of toppings in it, and the decor was pink. It kind of remind me of Europe, and at the end of the day I thought it was cute. But Rain is too smart, and I like when she stands up for herself because she did not want all the toppings on it, and she was like, hey, you could get yours on yours. I think Rain is too cute, and I like when she stands up for herself. Teach young kids to stand up for themselves, speak up, be vocal for them. Okay? So they both shared this Sunday. It looked good. That's something I look like I would enjoy because I love sweets for some reason. That's why I need to cut the sweets out so I can lose some weight myself. You know what I'm saying? What I like about this scene is that Toya apologized to Reginae. She said, I do not want you to go involved because you do not know the relationship of your grandparents and the history. But Reginae was like, nobody was standing up for her grandmother, so she has to do it. At the end of the day, Toya apologized to her daughter. And I said I like that because she took accountability for trying to put her daughter in her place for sticking up for her mom, her grandmother, at the end of the day. But I didn't hear she said she accepted the apology. I didn't hear nothing after that, though. But I assume she accepted the apology. Toya asked her about the movie that she got. And Toya reminds Reginae to come back to Atlanta because she said all the gigs you get are in Atlanta, and Reginae like, I don't really want to come back to Atlanta due to having space from her family. They could be a lot and she need a break from them. And Reginae like being in California, let her be. And when she ready to move back, then we welcome her with open arms and say, welcome back. So Reginae tells she gonna hook her grandmother up with a man. And Toya talks about me speaking with Mel. She said she wanna do it on her own terms. And Reginae is so loving towards her little sister because she said, you promised me you ain't gonna be beefing. I don't think you're supposed to beef with your family. That's just me. What I like about this scene is that Casey and Walter is spending quality time with each other at this chicken restaurant. And I like to see Walter and Casey spending brother time with each other. And the food they ordered looked amazing. The chicken with the mild sauce and the jalapeno peppers, that looked good as hell at the end of the day. So Walter picked his mind that he wants to do a podcast about prison reform. And he asked his brother, how do you feel, or what would you change? He said what he did not like about the prison was the conditions. And Casey goes into his story how he was nearly beat to death by guards. I said, oh my God, that was so sad. And I said, it kind of reminded me of that story of Robert Brooks when the guards killed him for beating him to death. That is sad. I said the purpose of going to prison is to do your time. I don't know why the guards tried to nearly beat him to death, but that was a sad story. And Walter apologized to him because Walter felt bad he couldn't be there for his brother. Walter was cooking with good advice. I said Walter is a very wise and smart man. I said God had him on this earth for a reason. Now Walter have to tap into his purpose. What you gonna do? Well, I guess he gonna use the podcast for prison reform because he talks to his brother about we need to do this so the younger generation won't go down the road that they went through, leading them through destruction, changing the youth ways. You know what I'm saying? And he talks about nobody guided them into the right direction, but they led them down destruction and misguided them. But God talks about misleading the children in the wrong path. People who does that is going to have to answer to God. People who lead children down the wrong path and abuse children, they is going to suffer like no other. Best to believe that. Walter used Casey's son as an example. He like, you have a son. You want to be a good example for your son because the devil could get a hold of your son and lead him in these streets. And I said, Walter, you was absolutely right. And Casey's like, I'll pray about it. And then Walter said, you could pray, but faith without works is dead. I like, ooh, Walter is cooking, honey, giving good advice. He said, prayer is also good, but you got to put effort into it. Know what I'm saying? And I said, it makes me sad. I feel like when people talk about Casey and his son, I see sadness in Casey's eyes. I'm like, it look like he about to cry. I don't think Casey like people talking about his son on the show. That's just my opinion. So Red, you gotta give Red his props because he brought Walter to this Big Facts Studio, which is a podcast that talks about prison reform or something like that, or prison, or what they've been through in prison. And he is here to get tips on how to start his podcast. He want to start a prison reform podcast because black people that go through the criminal system get harder time because of their color, and they get taken advantage because of their lack of knowledge. They don't know the rules of the law. Sometimes lawyers could abuse their power by making you take the wrong deal. And you be serving longer time for something you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or they could be stacking up charges on you. You know what I'm saying? They give you the maximum time. You be taking charges of something you don't even know you taking. You know what I'm saying? Don't be letting these lawyers can be tricky now. I feel for you to be a lawyer, you gotta be a good criminal. You gotta be a good criminal to be a lawyer. That's just my opinion. The people give him good advice saying that you have to start by engaging, by catching the people audience. You have to work from the ground up. Build your own audience. Have them engaged. People who are for you are going to stick with you. And two, you have to be your authentic self to do a podcast. You have to stay true to what you believe in if you really want to be successful. That means you do not ride the wave. And the man actually offered him to do a trial run and help him get started. And I thought that was cool. I don't know if it got lifted off the ground or not, but I thought that was dope to help him. Walter could do his own thing. He has his own channel. He could talk about prison reform on his own channel and bring guests on here and talk about it. I think Walter's name alone ring bells by itself in the streets, don't it? I don't know. Reginae set up a makeover for her grandmother, and her mother come in surprised, like, what is this for? And they made her grandmother over, honey. She looked good head to toe. And Reginae is like, I'm about to set up your profile. What would you like? She said she's open. She like to drink and have fun. And Reginae wrote her profile. She said, I like to drink to have fun, but not too much because I am a lady. Why that remind me of Shanae? I said, Shanae be like, I am a lady. And she always like to drink 40-ounce bottles of beer. And she like to drink it from the head, though. Why that remind me of Shanae, though? So, we see the after look. I thought Ms.Anita looked beautiful. I said, I have a dress similar to what Ms.Anita have on. Ms.Anita is sitting down. We see her first date, and her first date is Al. I like, all right now. I like the Al, honey. He was fun, honey. Yes, God. Al, I like the Al. Al came in dressed, built, fit. Al was fine, honey. Okay. Then he was like, I like to cook. I like to cook gumbo. You got to cook it down to the chocolate, but sometimes I cook it down looking like peanut butter. And Ms.Anita's like, you could cook, but you can't cook like me, honey. I could cook. He like, I know my cooking not like yours, but I could do something in the kitchen. He said, we need to get together and make a cookie. We need to cook together. They going to be spicing it up in the kitchen and in the bedroom, girl. I like Al seem like somebody that can lift you, honey. Now, the second man, I say he was cute, but I did not like him. I said, who granddaddy this is? Talking about he recently divorced and trying to be freaky. Nobody want to talk like that with him. He look like somebody granddaddy. I like, sir, first of all, heal from your divorce. I like, come get your granddaddy now. Come get your granddaddy now. Who granddaddy is this? Get him out of here. Beedy and Mel is in the car. They on their way to Toya's jump tryouts. And at the end of the day, Toya don't know that Beedy and Mel is coming. So when Toya arrived with her crew for the tryout, she had all her girls, and then Erica Dixon came late. I love me some Erica Dixon. And let me tell you, the people that showed up for the jump rope tryouts, they was bad. They was bad. And these are older ladies. And I said, they put these young girls to shame. These young girls ain't doing none of this. They ain't doing none of this. And I said, they all brought something to the table. I said, well, this is what we need to get back to. Jumping rope. Yes. I remember the days growing up jumping rope and stuff. And then Beedy shows up and say, I will with Mel, and Mel and Toya like, what is going on? Why are you here? Are you jumping? Beedy like, no, I'm not jumping. We here to watch. And is Beedy okay? Is she all right? I ain't never seen this side of Beedy before. I said she got that licking courage, you know. I ain't never seen Beedy this vocal about something. But I said this wasn't the time or place to talk about it, though. And I said, you wasn't afraid that they could have jumped? Yeah, man. Because where I'm from, they love jumping people. So where I'm from, they jump people. I'm just saying. Not saying they would have did that. Cause ain't nobody trying to do all that. But girl, how you ambush your sister? That's your sister. I'm like, girl, you bucking for this lady. You not gonna even spend the rest of your life with. Are you even talking about marriage and having children with her? You're not. What you bucking for? I ain't never seen this side of Beedy a day in my life. I like, is that you, Beedy? Because I couldn't tell. I like, maybe that was a doppelganger or something. But thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.